When the king goes to the prison, he cannot see Karivurar, who has made himself invisible. And king apologizes. Karivurar then tells the king that gold was of no interest to him. To demonstrate, he asked him to bring some silver. With one pinch of special Sinduram, he converts molten silver to pure gold. This story demonstrates the need of allowing gold as well as the mystical interest in transmutation of metal to gold. Now, with all the technology advances today, we can indeed convert through nuclear processes with neutron smashing, only that it is not financially viable. The imbalance of metals was identified as the cause of many diseases. So the treatment was to rebalancing, and that had to done through consumable form of metals. So namaskaram all. I'm much privileged and blessed to be here with these wonderful speakers, co-speakers here. And yesterday we performed a little bit kalari, and these knowledge comes from the Sidha tradition, from the Agastya and the 18 Siddhas. So I think, hope you heard about Siddhas. Anybody? Did you heard about Siddhas? Did you ever heard about Agastya? Agastya maybe, right? So I'll go for a very small paddle of one of the Siddhas. The Siddha's name is Shivavakyar Siddha. He says, Andathil ullade pindam, pindathil ullade andam. So these are some paddles from Shivavakyar about the connection between the physical body and the cosmos. Like Shivavakyar and Kudambai, there is another Siddhar also, Kudambai Siddhar. He also sang that Andathu Kappana Ganda Sudarinil Pindatul Parpayadi. That means the same meaning. So Shivavakyar and Kudambai and the 18 Siddhas have all sung about the intimate connection or equivalence of the microcosm and the macrocosm, or the super consciousness and the self. There are a lot of interpretations about these paddles. Here I am trying to connect the idea with metallic perspective. One interesting way to look at this is to consider our own heartbeats. The beating of the heart is a reflection of our breathing process. Maybe you know, everybody knows. It is meant to send blood with oxygen throughout the body. So it tries to pump the blood. If you look more into the molecular level, we will find the heart is pumping our hemoglobin molecules. Am I right? So the molecular form of blood is Hema-B. If we look again into the atomic level of Hema-B molecule, its core is an iron atom or a ferrous core. So as we know, this iron is in the universe has been forged in the explosion of stars and collision of galaxies. The source of iron is from the entire cosmos. So we have this grand cosmic metal circulating in our body, reminding us of our metallic nature with every heartbeat. So the connection of our heart with the cosmos is a metal connection, first of all. Huh? And Sar was actually asking about the brotherhood. So in everyone, the same metal is pumping inside the iron. So we are all connected with iron, right? So in Siddha Sampradayam, it is very clear about the Siddha, maybe the Shiva Sampradayam converted into the Siddha Sampradayam. We have the Agastya and the 18 Siddhas as the famous group. But there are also 64 recognized Siddhas and even 9 Navanath Siddhas. They were not merely rishis or sannyasis or spiritual beings. They were also scientists, alchemists, metallurgists, physicians, surgeons, yogis, and so on. They created a wealth of knowledge for the society and disseminated it through the paddles or songs. So when we talk about metallurgy and Siddhas, the immediate curiosity is about the alchemy of creating gold. So people will eagerly ask, can we create gold from some metals? From seeing from silver, there are a lot of stories. So everyone asks, can we create gold? Like in the rest of the world, there were tremendous research and attempts to make gold. There is an interesting story about Karivurar Siddhar, the architect of the great Tanjavur Brihadeshwara temple. A king had asked his goldsmith team to create a Nadaraja idol at Chidambaram based on a vision he had in underwater. He wanted to make it in 41 days. The craftsman thought that it was going to be a simple task. He gave them pure gold to do that. For 40 days, they struggled, but the mold never settled and the idol cannot be completed. On the 40th day, Karivurar Siddhar, the disciple of Bhogar, it is another Siddhar who consecrated the Palani temple, he came to his kingdom. Hearing about the struggle, he asked them to step outside and wait for an hour. After 1 hour, he presents the completed idol to them. They are stunned. The king arrives at the dawn of 41st day and he sees the idol. He is happy but wants to test the purity of the gold. So, finding that there is some copper added, he arrested Karuvura and put him to jail. Then Bhogar and other Siddhar appear and tell the king about the mistake of arrest. They convinced him about the mystical powers of Karuvura. When the king goes to the prison, he cannot see Karivurar, who has made himself invisible. And king apologizes. Karivurar then tells the king that gold was of no interest to him. To demonstrate, he asked him to bring some silver. With one pinch of special Sinduram, he converts molten silver to pure gold. This story demonstrates the need of allowing gold as well as the mystical interest in transmutation of metal to gold. Now, with all the technology advances today, we can indeed convert through nuclear processes with neutron smashing, only that it is not financially viable way to make gold, right? Otherwise, we can easily try. One of the prominent Siddhar is Pambattu Siddhar. He sings, Utta Kuridi Uyar Maringam. That means your basic component of your blood is iron. Okay. Unmai Kuralu Mureitha Chembu. That means your hair is copper. Chollum Elimbu Nal Iyamagum. Your lead. Your bone is lead. Chuttum Nyarambu Charigu Velli. Your nerves, no, these blood vessels are silver. Mattum Nal Mulai Tulangu Punam. Your brain is gold. Chollum Nilekai Udal Kanigal Chernu Muppan Tunar Nadamabe. This is converted with in a salt form. These metals are converted into salt form. So this is a part by Pambattu Siddhar, where how these metals are displayed in our human body is very much explained. So this clearly describes the identification of metals within the human body. These are found in salt form. The imbalance of metals was identified as the cause of many diseases. So the treatment was to rebalancing, and that had to done through consumable form of metals. This was the major research Siddhas undertook. How can iron be converted to a digestible format to treat blood-related issues? Even today, we have iron supplements, right? They created medicines with metals in a much purified form. So the Siddhas are supposed to possess the Ashtama Siddhis like Anima, Garima, Prapti, Prakashi. Maybe you had heard about that. It is wrong to interpret that these are physical powers like transformation of the body into minuteness to huge size, or from huge size to the small size, as we had seen Hanuman becoming big and small. I always ask what will happen to his dress if he's coming like this. So it is the mental ability to investigate across the different scales of our world, actually. They could study the tiny nanoscales as well as the local cosmic scale. So I have personal experience to producing this mercury. Mercury is very important in Siddha medicine. Maybe you had, So mercury, in my home yesterday, I was talking with him. From chilium and other drugs, special preparation using big pots and with systematic process, we would we made balarasam, mercury, and it is then used to different medicines after processing and preservations. So medicines like Siddha Magaradhvajam, yesterday I was talking about that. It's purely made up of mercury. So commonly used metals were gold, silver, mercury, iron, zinc, and copper. It is commonly used in medicines. So a medicine based on metals is uh, prepared through four stage of processes. First, there will be like a raw material. From we derive the basic principle, then there is a purification process, then the final medicine is prepared. These four stages always we follow. The raw materials can be a plant origin. Maybe it is called as Mooligai Vaguppu. There are 11 subdivisions of Mooligais based on the part of the plant that is used, like root, bark, flowers, etc. Then the metal part is the Tattu Vaguppu. It is the metal-based preparation, Tattu Vaguppu. There are 220 varieties based on 11 metals. So metals are called Loham or Uloham. Then Kararasam, that is salt. Then Patanam, that metal salt. Then Uparasams. There are 120 Uparasams. Like that metal is prepared. So using the metal, they used to make Chindurams, Parpams, Churnams, Melug. These are the medicine. If somebody is having some problem with this brain, we use Tanga Sinduram or something like that. Gold. Maybe we can buy the gold leaves, right? For consumable, yeah, like that. So, Parpams and Chindurams and Mediga. In Siddha medicine, the process involves neat, Vati and Ketta. These are the basic processes we follow. Nita is ash production or sublimation, we can say. Vati is distillation. Ketta is transforming it to a target form, like that. Longer shelf life and easily absorption by the body were the main criteria. And you might be heard about Rasamani, the solidified mercury in normal temperature and said to have healing mystical powers. That is the basic thing that Siddhas used. It is always a wonder in Sidha treatment system. The Siddhas traveled extensively to get pure mercury from different sources, actually. And there is another story about Siddhar Bhogar. He traveled to Rome, that Roma Rajya, and bringing back mercury from there. It was supposed to be very effective, so was guarded by demons, and he waits for the change of guards and steals the mercury, but get caught. He convinced them of the mystical powers by stopping the waves, the sea waves. There is a story. Seeing this, they let him go. So then Tattu Vaguppu, after that, there is one more, that is animal origins. We called as Sivam Vaguppu. Like Puli Nagam is used for medicine preparation. Then hen, goat, different animals are used. And we should know that aluminium was known long back. It was called as Tuvari Manna. Yeah, yes. It's just like completing. And I'll complete it because you can see these kind of metals are used in Ayurveda also, Charaga and Shushruta. Yeah. So Charaga specified actually Jihonir Lekhana Yendram and Nabhi Kartana Yendra, and which is used to cut the umbilical cord in specific like metals. So the Siddhar models offer tremendous potential for further research actually into the hidden and forgotten knowledge system. At IKS Center of Kalaripaitu and Sidha Tradition, we have begun a humble attempt to find out more from the vast ocean of knowledge that Siddhas created and left for us. Thank you.